How to know if you did enough? You are listening to the right episode of the Loan Officer Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Kiles. We are powered by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. And what a great question. How do I know if I did enough to accomplish my goals? Because at the end of the week, what you want to do is be able to hit the light switch, turn it off, go home and say, I did my best. My best was good enough. I hit my number. I hit my metric. Well, in this episode, I want to walk you through something. I've got a great group of people. So I'm doing a jump start to a million. This is something that I've seen there's a huge need in this environment to help people re-get how to best say it, to help loan officers get back to where they were. There was a study done by Ingenious, and it was talking about 90 days ago. Every 90 days, it releases the stats, and 67% of every originator that they tracked and measured did less than one transaction. And it was something staggering. Like I want to say 21% did 1.5 transaction and only 12% actually did. I mean, it was crazy. 12%, I think, did 2 or more transactions. And here's what we recognize. Man, the chasm between the two is really greater and greater. Like the ones who are producing, my gosh, I was talking to one of our friends this last week who's part of the Freedom Club, closing 22 transactions this month. And then you've got people that have been in the business 15 years and they're struggling to close 2 or 3 transactions. And so we created something called Jumpstart to a Million. And what it is, it's a 12-week boot camp that I'm helping walk our first class through, which I'm super excited about. But I want to share something that we're going through, and it's really creating a bullseye or a target on what is my number one objective to get each and every day I show up. And so in this Jumpstart to a Million, my commitment is over the next 12 weeks, if you do the work, I'm confident you can break back over $1 million. Hey, and if you're listening, you say, dude, I'm interested in that. What I'm doing is really creating a community, showing not only what to do, but group and team accountability in doing it, jumping on call stars, making the outbound calls, walking through challenges and obstacles, and helping this first class break back above $1 million. And so if you're interested in it, send me an email, steve@stevekiles.com, steve@stevekiles.com, and just say interested in Jumpstart to a Million. And myself or Kristen, one of us will jump on a quick call and help walk you through what it looks like. I'm going to roll out another class here in the next 4 weeks. If you're interested, send me an email, steve@stevekiles, and just type in interested in Jumpstart to a Million. So I wanted to share something that I walked the team, the guys and girls, through this last week, and I thought it would be impactful. You know, we have a macro vision, like it's like, what's your vision over the next 10 years? And that's something that I'm walking everybody through. Hey, what do we see ourselves personally, professionally over the next 10 years? What are some of the things that we want to accomplish? What does the next 12 months look like? What do the next 90 days look like? And as we're doing it, there is always a form of income that's attached to what that goal is, because income is really the ability. It's what pays for the freedom. It gives you freedom to have domestic help, kids in private school, put money away, pay off debt, invest. Income is a big part. It's not the only reason we do what we do, but it is a goal to make X dollars. And so I thought, okay, let me just walk you through what I'm walking our teams through. I've got people that are a part of my personal branch, people that have connected to my network. And then I've got this class, our first class at Jumpstart to a Million, that I'm helping just be a guide and remove obstacles and barriers. And so here's something that we walk through is this. How do you know that you did your best today? What's the number one thing? If I were to say, what is the one thing that if you did this every day, you would actually hit your goal? And so I like taking the macro goal and bringing it into a day-to-day micro activity. And so I'm not going to tell you make more calls, or, you know, I know that's what you're thinking. He's going to say the daily success plan and call my agents and do my just ask and database and pre-approved and looking. And here's what I'm going to say. All of that's a part of it. But if I were to ask you, what's your number? Do you know what that number is? So let me walk you through. If you're not driving, you're at a place you could stop, grab a pen and piece of paper, or, you know, if you're using a Remarkable or some kind of a digital notepad, here's what I want you to do. Jot down your income goal. if like in a perfect world, we're building the life we design. We're building the life we want. And you say, man, over the next 12 months, if I could get to X income per month, I would feel like I'm living a bit of my freedom. It may not be our 10-year goal, but I got to tell you, it's at least giving you that where you want to be in the next 12 months. Okay. So write down your income goal, and then I need you to write down how much money do you make on average per transaction. So if you close a loan, how much money actually goes into your pocket? And some people may be higher, some people less. It doesn't matter your number, you just got to know what it is. So and then from there, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you what the one number is each and every day. When you wake up, show up, you need to make happen in order to achieve the goal. So here we go. And I'm going to use some examples. So let's say your goal is $30,000 a month. I want to get to 30,000 or get back to $30,000 a month. Let's say your average income is $3,000 per loan. So remember this, it's not transactions that is the goal, it's income and revenue. And so if you can do less units and make more money, dude, that's awesome. Or if you got to do a lot more units to make the money, it doesn't matter. The key is the income that we're making from the transactions and being able to make a difference in the lives and the families of the people we serve. So here's what we want to do. Let's say I want to make $30,000 a month. And let's say on average, you're making $3,000 transactions. Some of you may make more, some of you may make less, depending on your loan amount, your loan sizes, your comp plan. Doesn't matter your number, just got to know what it is. So let's just use 3,000. So to get to $30,000 a month, you need to close 10 transactions. And it's that simple. Okay, well, Steve, that's great. How do I do that? Well, let's break it down into something that's even more micro and manageable per day. Because look, the reality is, if we're following the survey and the numbers and the stats we just got, the majority of the population is closing less than 1.5 transactions. It's just not enough. Only 12% is closing more than 2.5. So regardless of where you're at, whether you're closing 5, 10, 15, 20, doesn't matter. You've got a number you want to get to. And what we got to know is how many transactions you need. And then what we're going to talk about is how many relational leads do you get in order to close those transactions. So here we go. 30,000 is the target, $3,000 per transaction. So we need 10. And then here's what we're going to back into. Whatever transactions you need, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, doesn't matter. Multiply it times 4. Because across our coaching platform, across the mortgage marketing animals, you're going to see about 1 in 4 relationally referred leads goes to closing. Now, I've talked to several of you this last week. You're at 31, 32%. Some of you are at 18, 20%. I would use 1 in 4 or 25% of your relational leads will actually go to a funding. So what it tells you is, look, I've got to have 40 leads per month in order to close 10 transactions. And when I close 10 transactions, I'm going to make an average of 3,000 per transaction, or $30,000 in income. So here's what I would do. If I need 40 leads, I'm going to divide it by 20 days. If you look at 5 days a week, so here's the number, which is, it's like even today, I just keep reaching out to all my people, and we're on some group chats and some great, just contact where I'm encouraging them. Listen, what's your number? How many leads do I need to get today to hit my goal? Because look, if I'm trying to get to 30,000, 3,000 transaction, that's going to be 10 transactions, 40 relational leads. How do I bring that back to what do I do today? What is my focus today? How do I know if I did enough today? Well, here's what's great is, look, I've got 10 closings a month times 4, which is 40 leads. There's 20 Monday through Fridays, 20 each, if I'm looking at a 5-day work week. So I'm going to take that 40 divided by 20 means I need 2 relational leads today. That's it. So if you want to know what do I need today? Did I do enough? Hey, what are you doing today to get 2 relational leads? And here's what's great. If I get 2 today and 2 tomorrow, over the course of the next 30 days, I've got 1 loan in my pipeline. So it's just a numbers game. And I felt like I really wanted to share it with you, because if I were to ask you what is the number one thing to do today? What's the one thing that if you do it today, you'll hit your goal, you'll achieve your freedom number? And I challenge you with, what's your number of leads today? So in this example, you want to close 10 transactions a month, get 2 relational leads today. Well, who do I call? I'd follow the daily success plan. On Mondays, it would be my realtor partners. Tuesday, just ask updates. And I'm talking to everybody on the transaction. There's 6 of them. I'd be calling, making the outbound calls, asking for the business. Wednesdays, follow the database. And for those of you who've been tracking with us on the annual mortgage reviews, add that as a value add. But every time, ask for the business. Hey, can I count on you when you have a friend, family, coworker looking to buy, sell, or refinance? We call that our 3x3. And then, with our agent partners, every time you're talking to an agent, hey, who do you have today that I could help you get pre-approved to make sure it's a great use of time? And then on Thursdays, we're doing our pre-approved and looking. So every day there's a theme. That's called process to prospecting. But here's what's great on Mondays. How do I know I won? Did you get 2 relational leads? No, I didn't. Well, what are you going to do to go get them? Make more calls, make more offers, have more conversations, because here's what we know. You want to close 10 transactions a month. You got to make offers. You got to ask for the business. And only when you get 2 relational leads a day, will you get to your 40 relational leads a month, which will turn into 10 fundings and $30,000 in income. So I hope that helps. Hey, listen, my goal is this. I want everybody who listens to our podcast to break over consistently $1 million. Man, that sweet spot's over $2 million, because you're able to hire help and support and have people helping you in your business. If you feel like, man, I need a jump start, I need a boot camp, I need direction and clarity and build a community, we're running small groups of this 12-week boot camp, and we're going to launch another one here probably in the next 4 weeks. And if you're interested in it and say, Steve, I'd love to be a part of it, just shoot me an email. That's super simple. Steve@stevekyles.com. Steve at STEVEKYLES.com, and just say, hey, I'm interested in the boot camp, and myself or Kristen, one of us will reach out to you and just see if it's a good fit for you to be a part of what we're doing. I'm confident we can help you. But I wanted to share this nugget that I know is helping. I was watching the guys and girls in this class of boot camp, and all day they've just been like, hey, I got my 2, I got my 3, I got my 4 leads. And I'm telling you, if you know what you got to get each and every day, you know if you did enough, and you know if you're winning. So I hope that helps you. Hey, wherever you're subscribing or listening to the podcast, it would mean so much to me if you'd give us a review and just tell us how this podcast is impacting your business. That helps us in the ranking, helps us get out to other loan officers and originators who need to hear what it is we're doing to help loan officers have great success. And so do this, give us a review, and make sure you share it with 2 loan officers that you know could benefit from this today. Hey, I hope it helps. Remember this, anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Just get started. See ya.